back with another video, but I want to switch it up and give you guys more information on how to use your credit cards to live your best life on a budget. So we all know everybody has everyday bills that have to be paid. That's just a given. But I want to teach you guys how to use those everyday bills to learn and receive cashback rewards, rewards points towards travel, all that kind of great stuff. So I have a video actually right here that went viral on TikTok where I was basically explaining how I use my credit cards to use my luxury life. So of course everybody wants to know more information about it, so I decided to make an extended video breaking down everything that I really do as far as using my credit cards to live that said luxury life. So I have multiple different credit cards that I use, to the point where I really don't use my debit card much anymore because there's no real reason for me to use it outside of me just paying my credit card bills with it. Because why use my debit card on everyday purchases and receive no real rewards or perks from it when I could just use my credit card? So for example, let's get straight into it. I recently got these two Amex cards. I have the gold and I have the platinum. So when you get new credit cards, they actually give you perks when you use a certain value amount within the first 6 months. So for the platinum card, when I spend $6,000, I will get 100,000 points. And then on my gold card, when I spend $4,000, I will get 60,000. So in total, I'll get 160,000 points from using these two cards. So I know 6,000, 4,000 seems like a lot to use, but because I have multiple businesses where I actually have 3 Airbnbs along with my personal home rent, 2 cars is not hard. 10,000 is not hard for me to spend in 6 months. My Airbnb rents alone, I have already covered the 4,000 that I've had to spend on my gold Amex card, and now next month I'll just be working on the platinum so that I go ahead and spend everything. So if obviously everybody doesn't have Airbnbs, but you do have everyday rent. If you're allowed 6 months to get up to $4,000, 4 months of you paying your rent on your credit card and then making sure you pay the balance back off with your debit card, will allow you to get to that point without having to worry about it so much. And you get those wonderful rewards points that you can use towards travel. So once you have rewards points, depending on what type of card you have, you will be able to log into your credit card account, go to the rewards points section, and then you can purchase different flights, or even you can purchase different products with those said points. So when you're going on and you're trying to book a flight and it says you need 10,000 points to book that flight, all you have to do is use your rewards points that you have saved up from your purchases, and you can book a flight technically for free because it's based off of everyday stuff you already have to pay anyway. So if you want to know different cards that you can get for travel, of course you have the Amex Gold and Platinum. Also, you can use, I have Navy Federal, so this is my Navy Federal American Express card, which can also gain rewards points that you can later use for travel. And then with Bank of America, I have a business account, and this is the Business Advantage Travel Rewards card, which also I can gain points with my purchases to use for travel. So I just gave you guys 4 examples of cards that you can use. If you don't have these particular banks, Chase, Wells Fargo, every type of everyday big bank that you can think of, they all have credit cards that have different type of perks that come along with them. So if you're looking for something where you can gain travel rewards points, you're just going to go to your bank's credit card section and look for the one that says rewards points or travel rewards. Whether it's mileage points, whatever the case may be, you want to get the one that's going to give you what you need so that you can use that towards travel. So as I was saying in my video, if you are gaining your points now, where the new year is January, by the time the summertime rolls around 6 months from now, you'll be able to live your best life for the summer. You can now use the points that you've accrued over the past 6 months to book your travel for the summer. Of course, you want to try to book ahead of time so that you get the best pricing as possible, but you now have free travel off of paying your everyday rent, bills, whatever the case may be. And now all you have to worry about is paying for baggage and taxes and fees. You can also use your travel rewards points to go towards hotels. So if you have enough points added up, now you have covered your flight as well as your hotel, and you really just have to focus on having everyday spending money for wherever you plan to go. So whether you're planning a trip with your family, a girls trip, vacation, whatever the case may be, you can use your credit cards to earn those travel rewards points so that you can go and live your best life wherever you so see fit. You can go to Cabo, you can go to Cancun, you can travel locally, go to Miami for the summer, wherever you want to go. So those cards are for travel. The next thing is I have a few cards that give you cashback rewards. So again, this is my Navy Federal Cash Rewards card, the green card. This one I use because it gives you 3 times cash back on whenever you use it at the grocery store, when you use it at the pump, when you're paying for gas, and then it also gives you cash back rewards when you're dining out. So let's say you're going to the grocery store to get groceries for the week, use your credit card so that you get those cash back rewards. If you are going out for brunch or you're going out to a restaurant with your family and friends, use your cash back card so that you get money back from what you're spending. A lot of local places that you'll go, whether it's for leisure, just to hang out with your friends, or an actual restaurant, they are all under that said category so that you'll get your rewards points or your cash back for those things. So this is one card I have. I also have a Bank of America cash rewards card. So these are like the main 2 that I really use when it comes to cash rewards. But if you have a business, this is a business cash reward card. And the good perk about this is I spend a lot of time mailing out stuff at the post office for my credit clients. So I actually use this card because you can choose the category that you want to get the most cash back on. So I did mine for office supplies and anything related to that. So because the mailing is actually under the office supplies section, I have been able to get $180 to $200 a month on my cash back rewards points every time that I'm going to the post office to use my business card to go towards, everyday mailing that I have to do for my business anyway. But again, whenever I go to the grocery store, I'm going to use my cashback rewards card. Whenever I go to the mall and I buy new clothes, I'm using my cashback reward card. Anytime I am doing any of those things, I'm either using my cashback rewards card or I use my Navy Federal Amex card, because this one also gives you rewards points towards whenever you purchase with Uber Eats, taking an Uber ride. You also get points back as well for whenever you're purchasing at the grocery store or just everyday department store purchases and all that. So these are just a few examples of cashback rewards cards. Now again, if you do not have these banks, your everyday bank, you're going to go on the credit card section of their website and then you look for the card that says cashback rewards. So at the end of each month or at any time when they give you your cash back, you log into your account, you click on the amount that they have left, and then they will ask you where you would like to transfer the money to. You can either transfer it directly to your checkings or you can transfer it to your savings. Me, I usually just use the money to go towards my credit card bill for the most part, or whatever I see fit for the month. But the choice is yours. Who doesn't need extra money coming in, from purchases you already made that you'll never get from using a debit card? And then last but not least, I also have my business Chevron card, but again, the cashback and the points rewards cards are both going to give you 3 times the points or cashback whenever you're using it at the pump. So for this Chevron card, I also get points back as well. It doesn't matter if you're under a business or you're not, you have options to get rewards back for using gas every day. That's an everyday purchase. So I've already covered gas, groceries, paying your rent. You can use these to pay utilities as well. All of this stuff is going to give you way more rewards back than just using your debit card, because I use my credit cards to pay these things, and then at the end of the month or whenever my credit card bill is due, I just pay them off at that moment. If you're not the best with paying your bills, whenever you use your credit card, just immediately pay that balance off for whatever bill that you were paying so that you don't forget about it and you don't let that amount accrue and put yourself in a bad place. So that's another thing I want you to be mindful of. Everybody doesn't always have discipline, but somewhere in life you need to learn it. That's all I can really say about that. So when you use your credit card to pay your rent, turn around and go into pay your credit card off with your debit card in that moment so that you don't forget about it and you make sure that the bills are paid. You never want to put yourself in a bind or in a bad place. Last but not least, I cannot leave out the shopping carts because everybody likes to shop and buy new things. That's just a part of life. So these are just two of the cards I have. I don't really have a lot of credit cards that are associated with stores because I just feel like it puts you in a bad place to just spend to the point where your credit card can get maxed out. So I just have a Nordstrom's and a Neiman's card because I just love to buy things from there. I usually buy like my sunglasses and shoes from either Nordstrom or Neiman. So those are the two cards that I use the most for them. But the great thing about Nordstrom and Neiman's is they also give you points rewards for every purchase that you make. When they have sales, they actually have times where they'll give you 2 and 3 times the points. For example, one day I went in Neiman's and I was buying some shoes. They were some Steve Madden heels. And when I went to the counter to make my purchase, he was like, "Oh, you have like 60." He said you have $30 worth of rewards cash. Do you want to use it towards your purchase? And I was like, yes. So instead of me paying like $90 for the shoes, they came out to like, was it 90? I think it was 70. And then I used the 30 and I only paid like $40 for them. But again, I didn't even realize at first, because when I made my last purchase, I ended up spending like $400 to where I got all those rewards, and now I got the money off the shoes. So again, I've used my credit cards to my advantage to where I've gotten an additional amount off on my next purchase off of everyday things that I was just gonna buy anyway. So there are so many perks to using your credit cards that I want everybody to understand. But the main thing for you to do is to start basis. Start with your bases. Start out with just using them to pay your everyday bills, grocery, gas, if you're going out. And again, after you use your credit card for those things, if you're not good with keeping up with stuff, if you're not good with not abusing your credit cards, anything of that nature, just make the habit. I use my credit card that same day or later that night. Now I'm going to pay the credit card bill off with my debit card. And if you keep that habit up, you'll make sure that you don't overspend anything that you don't have. And you'll also gain your rewards because, again, we're working towards having all our points ready to travel this summer. So that's the main thing that I want you guys to focus on. If for any reason you get in a bind to where you're overusing your credit cards, immediately stop. You always want to make sure that any credit card you have is at 30% usage or less. I always say 30% as a basis because, yes, it's best for you to have it lower, but minimally, if you have all your credit cards at 30%, you will never have an issue with getting financed on anything. I have made several purchases with getting a new car, getting new credit cards where my utilization was at 30%, and I have not had an issue with ever getting denied. So don't think that if it's at 30 you won't get approved or have any issues, because honestly that's not true, and that's coming from somebody who has done it. I've had my cards at 30, 20, 10, nothing, every level that you can think of, and it has not stopped me from getting financed on anything yet. So make sure that you're not abusing it. But again, if you have a credit card that is $500, 30% of 500 is $150. So if your credit card bill is due on the 15th and you've used $300, you need to make a $150 payment minimally, so that once your statement ends, your utilization will be at 30% or less. That's the best way for you to think about it. Whatever your limit is, multiply that by 30%, and you will always make sure that you're under that balance. So make sure that when you're paying your credit card bill, you pay it down to what that balance needs to be each month, so that you don't see a drop in your credit score from having high credit card utilization. But if you do, the greatest thing about credit cards is if you run them up and it drops your credit score, all you have to do is pay it down, literally. Don't worry about it so much, especially if you're in a bad place in your life where you may be unemployed, or you're going through some things, or you've had to use your credit card for an emergency. Just remember, always pay your minimum. Pay something. Don't just not pay anything at all. And if you can at least pay the minimal payment, then you need to call the company. Do not avoid paying the bill. Call the company, let them know the problems that you're having, and make sure that you're in contact with them, because you do not want to get a new late payment, because that is stressful. Late payments are really hard to remove, so These are just a few tips on things that you should do so that you can use your credit cards to live your best life, live a life of luxury, off the bills you already have, and basically just ball on a budget. So it's Rose. I love you guys. I'm here again, and I will be dropping more content for you regarding credit cards. So, of course, leave a comment below. Ask me anything you want to know about the current credit cards you have, credit cards you might be considering getting based on the information I gave you guys. And until I see you guys next time. Thank you again for hanging with me here at Rose Credit Repair. And don't forget, like, subscribe, comment below if you have any credit questions. I'm going to be answering them myself in the comments. So you know what to do. Until next time.